In real life, it had reeked of mangy fur and old tea and alcohol fumes. In her dreaming mind, it was clean. The air smelled of dust and endings. She moved through the bare space as voices eddied around her. Born under the 3 archer stars, with her tail curled, remember what the diviners said that meant. Destined for glory. A Lolata clan queen. Imagine it. She will bring us honor and fortune. Build us a palace. But remember, she can't be spoiled. We must keep her working, prove our dedication to the gods, earn her fate with blood and sweat. Whip her if she cries. Whip her. Whip her. Even though she was alone in the room, Naja clutched her arms around herself. The voices themselves felt like lashes, raw and searing across her skin. But she didn't let herself cry, as she had done when she was young. Instead, she shouted back, growled at the bare walls where the ghosts of her parents' obsessive plans for her still lived. I am General Naja. I am the king's closest confidant. I am more than enough. I am glad I left you all to rot. She woke up in a flash. Someone was shaking her. The light of a lantern blinded her for a moment, and she hissed, knocking it aside, along with whatever fool dared touch her. General Naja, came the voice of one of her maids. It was Hiroto, a lizard-form girl just a few years past her teens. She picked herself up from where she had fallen to the floor and bowed low, her russet-scaled hands splayed. I'm so sorry to wake you this way, General. I tried shouting, but you seemed in a deep sleep. What is it, girl? Naja snarled, sitting up. She shrugged off the dream the way she always did, in one smooth motion, discarding it from her body like a lover stepping out of her nightdress. There is a man demanding to see you. Good gods, girl. If this is all you've woken me for. He told me you were expecting him. Hiroto cut in, head still down. That you asked him to come if he caught a... She recited it carefully. A red, double-tailed Katorian sand scorpion. Naja threw aside her heavy blankets and was on her feet before the girl had even finished the sentence. Trust me, she commanded. Then take me to him. The man looked as though he'd ridden for hours through the storm. His cheeks were wind-lashed, his sage-green traveling cloak soaked through. Fat drops of water splashed from his clothes onto the newly laid bamboo matting of Naja's reception room, and from the doorway, she eyed the mud he'd tracked across the floor with disdain, battling the urge to reach for one of the ceremonial swords mounted to the wall. The man sprung to his feet as she strode in, not waiting for Hiroto to announce her. Another maid, impeccably dressed despite the late hour, was already waiting by the low table in the center of the room. A copper kettle sat on the stove, steam billowing from its spout, filling the air with the delicate scent of silver needle leaves. Tea far finer than her parents' farm had produced. The maid went to pour some, but Naja waved her away. Leave us. Both girls lowered their heads, shuffling from the room at once. General Naja, the paper-cast man stuttered, bowing deeply. Black hair flopped over his head in wet straggles. It is an honor to meet you again. She gave a tiny jerk of her chin as she knelt opposite him. Counselor Shu. Even without the cushion she knelt on, Naja would have come to just under twice his height. Shu was short even for a human. He kept his head half bowed, his eyes flicking up every so often from his lap to meet her steel-eyed glare, then promptly dropping, as though the sight of her hurt his sensitive human eyes. The pink tip of his tongue poked out to wet his cracked lips. Naja's nose twitched, her own lips furling. The pungent mixture of his sweat and the tang of horsehide wasn't pleasant, to say the least. This was one of the rare instances